Don't throw these away, guys. If you are a crocheter, you can actually use these. You can make covers for them or not, but I just think, it looks really nice. I actually made Hello and welcome back to Alter My Closet. I am Jennifer. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you for joining me once again. So I have a couple of things I wanted to share, and I have been trying different types of flour. I've tried the oat flour. I've tried the coconut flour, gluten-free flour, just different types of flour. And so I have not been having any favorable results, with the different types of flour other than the all-purpose flour or whole wheat flour. So if there's anyone out there that knows exactly how to use the gluten-free flour and what to make with it, what's the best thing to use it for, please share with me. I tried this one here. This is a coconut flour. And I've tried it with different things. So just this morning, I thought about making some pancakes because I do have a recipe that it talks about gluten-free pancakes. And I'm telling you, that thing did not form and stick together. It was just loose and grainy, and I put it in the waffle maker. I know it says pancake, but I put it in the waffle maker. And when it said it was done, I lifted the waffle maker and it was in pieces. So I didn't know what to do. I ended up putting some self-rising flour with it and try to make something like Johnny cake. In Jamaica we call it fried dumplings. But, I think the proper term for it, is Johnny cakes. And so I tried to make that, and it was a flop. So, like I said, if anybody knows how to use this coconut flour here and what you specifically use it for, share with me. Another thing that I did was to use the oats, the actual oats, and I put it in the NutriBullet and blended it out so it, looked real refined looking. And I tried to use that one time and make, I think I tried to make pancake with it as well. But, they just don't have the same consistency as, pancake where it forms together. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. But that was my experience this morning with this here. But I have been thinking about my last video. I showed this bag that I did complete as a project where my daughter does have her crochet event, and we're working on different projects and all that. So I showed that bag there, and one of the young ladies that attended the class was saying that she was looking for a container to put her skein, like her roll of crochet thread. She was looking for something, to put that in. And I did see this other YouTuber that my daughter watches all the time that does crochet. She was looking at containers to put her crochet in as well. And then I had also thought about it too, because I had this little box that I'd put my crochet in, the skein, instead of having it roll all over the place when you're crocheting, it would just keep it contained in one area. And I was thinking, of course I saw things that they have in the store and everything, but an idea that came to mind was these container wipe, the container, where the wipes comes in. So I thought about not just having it like this. What I did was to strip the paper, the label off of this, and some of them are not so easy to take off, but a few of them came off, and I think it was because it was in the heat. But anyway, I'm thinking of, actually thought about to make a cover for this and, put it on there and use this for the crochet, the roll of crochet thread, and then just use that part and pull it through. So today I want to show you how I'm gonna make the covers, for the containers. This is another container, one of the tall ones. Okay, so what I'm saying is, I actually made one and gave it to the young lady that attended my daughter's class that said, she wanted one. A teenager, and she's enjoying it. So just an idea. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and make the cover for this and show you. Hold on. So what I've done here is to cut out a piece of fabric, and I love this fabric here. It's very stretchy, and I'm going to go ahead and measure this up to the amount of fabric that I need to make a cover for it. All right, so I'll show you how I cut that out. So I've taken the cover off, and I'm still trying to work on getting, the edges of the foil paper off, but that is a challenge. But, you can use whatever is safe to remove that. Okay, I'm measuring this, and I'm gonna cut. Oh, what I did was to fold this over like this, so I have the base. And it's a very easy project. Measuring that, and I'll cut about to here. So I'm giving some sewing allowance as well. And because of this fabric here is so stretchy, I, don't have to use much. Alright, so I'm going to sew the sides here, here, and here. And the next thing that I want to do is to make, just cut a little piece. And that's going to be the string to run through the top part. Going to the machine, I'm going to sew the sides, like I said, down. I'm going to sew this here, double it, fold it down, and then run this through it. So of course with the containers, if it's hand sanitizer, wipes, or whatever the case is, you always want to rinse it out, properly. So I did rinse it, like I said, remove the label. I'm trying to take off a little bit more of this. I have two sizes here. I have the shorter one, and then I have the longer ones. And of course the covers are still intact. So for the longer one, what I wanted to also point out, what I did was to curve the stitch at the end. I made a curve on the bottom part of the cover, so that it covers the round edges nicely and, it doesn't stick out. So I am going to trim that area. So instead of square, it's going to be a rounded edge like that. So that's what I did with that piece. Okay. And I turned the top down, maybe about a 1/4 inch or something like that. Then I turned it inside out. So I'm using a safety pin, and I'm going to run my string through the hem. All right, so I went ahead and run the string through. I'm going to put a knot on the ends just to secure it, so you know it doesn't become a loose. All right, so I have the 2 different sizes. So I'm gonna do the shorter one, and I'm gonna bring this up this way and then pull the string through. And I'm tucking it in the container. And I did cut the edges on this round as well. All right. So here I have my skein. So I made, like I said, the 2 sizes. This one is, you know, the wider one. So I'm gonna go ahead, and you would want to do this before you start your project. On this one here, I already started my project, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut my thread, the crochet thread. I went ahead and cut it. Okay. So the idea is to put the thread through here and snap that down, right? And then you have that where you can pull your thread without your thread going all over the place. Okay. And I just think that's such a very innovative and creative idea. All right, let's do number 2. Where is it? Okay. And I did 2 sizes because I wanted to show, you know, you can have this one here if you have the opportunity to get a few of these longer ones if you have multiple projects. And so for the longer ones, you have this size skein here. And this would fit this one. Okay, I'll cut this as well. I'll just have to, you know, work on tying that back and doing it neatly. Okay, so for this one, just stick it here. Right? Isn't that awesome, guys? You know, when you're done, of course, you can close it. You can open it here to do your project. Okay, and your thread stays in one place instead of rolling all over the place. So yeah, here is a demo of me using the finished product. So that's what it looks like. That's the longer one for the longer skein, you know, the longer one, and this shorter one for the shorter skein, right? So we have 2 here, and I just think they're so practical. You know, it keeps your thread, like I said, in place, and you know, maybe these can be made and sold. I am wearing my daughter's handmade earrings, by the way. This is the Army Fatigue color, and I paired it with this blouse here and this necklace. I've been loving this necklace, guys. You know, the orange kind of pops here with the different colors there. So yeah, but just wanted to show you what this all looks like. So yeah, those were just some ideas that I came up with, you know, using the containers and just making beautiful covers for those containers. You know, the best type of fabric to use, of course, is, you know, something stretchy, right? And then you won't have to use a lot of the fabric because it will stretch, you know, enough to fit on the container. All right, but let me know what you guys think about that project. You know, it's something that you can make. Yeah, comment, like, and share, and let me know, you know, about this project. If you decide to do this, put it in the comments and let me know. But you guys will see me on the next video, and it was fun sharing that little project. Bye.